Hi guys, welcome to the Rule of Two, where the Star Wars news saga continues. I'm Terrence, and I am back again with another thoughts on the Acolyte. This time with episode 4. Once again, like I've said before in many of the other one of these videos, that I'm not going to do a full review or breakdown. Just going to give my overall thoughts of what I thought about the particular episode. Now, with this particular one, we are actually probably going to start the last 10 to 25% of this show, because the rest of the episode was unimportant. I would say boring in some points, but it really got interesting because as opposed to them setting our character good versus evil with the twins and the diode or dyad of the force thing, it looks like they're doing a redemption, or at least an ownership of what she's done with May, where she's talking with Chimera as they're talking about the relationship with the Master, who's yet to be revealed, but we'll get back to that in a second, and how both of them have come under the service of this particular master. May has an epiphany where she feels that, you know what, I don't even really have to see this out. I don't have to do it. I can go ahead and turn myself in and then work on my relationship with my twin sister, which was a interesting thing for me. I was like, I'm glad I don't have to go a whole full season of good versus bad, and then when they fight off at the very end. Now, with that being said, when May goes to turn herself in, unfortunately, somebody's already killed the Wookiee Jedi that she was originally there to go kill. Now, it leaves her in a bad spot because obviously she's going to be blamed for it, but it gives her an opportunity to kind of just face justice. Lo and behold, right at that particular moment, our nameless, faceless master actually appears floating down from the heavens, which I thought was the weirdest thing out of nowhere, just kind of floating down. And it leaves us, we see the master kind of in full detail, with the helmet on. That's probably one of the best things I could take away from it. Star Wars does a great job in designing helmets for their helmeted characters. This one has, like, it looks like a smile in the helmet, and it's almost like the horror movie smile, or in those little horse shorts where the thing has like no face but only a smiling mouth. I thought that was really cool for the design of this. It actually comes off as very, very, very scary and fearful. But it does, when they introduced it, my first thought is that, who's under this mask? And I thought back to, the previous episode where we got to see more along the lines of the witch coven, and that I don't remember seeing, what's her name, Mother Coral, actually dying or being one of the bodies that was in the temple when they left, when it got caught fire. So I thought, this is going to be her. This is probably going to be her. That will explain the relationship and why May is so fiercely devoted to this particular character. But it doesn't seem to be that way. This seems to be like the easiest thing to kind of pick up because it looks like it's Chimera. And it looks, I mean, so much so that I don't even think they tried to hide it. And if they did try to hide it, they didn't try to hide it very well. This has to be one of the worst mysteries of who's beyond this helmet, because in this whole episode, and we're going to talk about it in a second, they kind of give you a bunch of clues that it's him, where he doesn't reveal exactly what his promise is and why he was actually going to be working for the master. He does hint at some information that he knows about May's master soul, and that she had a relationship with him, which that was never discussed with her and him, nor was it even discussed by Osha when Osha was talking to Chimera. So it revealed that he knew some information, and every time that we see the Master, Chimera is never, ever, ever on screen. Never, ever nearby, always gone off some particular place. So I'm saying that it's Chimera, even in a sense to where when he goes to wave away all of the Jedi that are there to face him, you look at the hand, and the hand actually looks like Chimera's hand. I that sucks, dude. If that's what they're really doing with this, that was, why did you even make him faceless? Why did you make it a mystery? Like, it's hidden master when it was definitely going to be Chimera. Though they could be giving us a misdirect and just trying to point all the fingers at him. But once again, look at it like a hand. Those fingers look like his fingers. It could be a misdirect, and it could be something else. I thought the more interesting thing to do would be make it the mom, or maybe the birthing mom. I mean, because it's, my two moms here. Make it one of the witches' coven to actually be the one to, kind of bring this on, because they would have more of an interest of why these Jedi would need to be killed. I don't understand the reason behind why it would be Chimera, But I'm sure that we're going to get more information about what if it is Chimera. I'm sure we get more information going into the next episode. One of my takeaways from the season so far, since we're basically about halfway through the season, is that I thought this thing was going to be majority Sith. I've already spent 3.75% of the episodes focused on the Jedi and these two characters, these Dial of the Force characters. That's not what I was sold on this show about. I thought this was going to be a heavy Sith focused show, and that I was going to see more of their side than more of the Jedi. And I do get that they're trying to make the Jedi kind of the bad police in this particular show, or just the antagonist of the show. But I really wanted more. I really wanted more Sith. So much so that I was ready to tap out. If it wasn't for that last 10% of this episode, that actually kept me into this particular series. Now, I'm hoping going forward that we get to see more of the Sith focus of this. I mean, the Acolyte basically stands for, a religious follower. I mean, that could be the Jedi, that could be the Sith, it could be the Witches' Covens. I mean, they all have their religion and their followings. So, I mean, I guess it kind of intunes to everything, but they really sold me on the fact that this was going to be more of an evil focused show or Sith focused show. One of the takeaways from this episode, and I've seen the internet kind of go ablaze about it, is that they kind of screwed up their own story. What's the guy name? Ki Adi Mandi. The guy with the pointy head and the little hair on top. They actually brought him. I mean, he's in this episode, and he acknowledges that this trained individual should have a master. Now, they do make a reference. I mean, so they do make him say like, "Oh, you can't be masterless and be Sith. You can't be like an apprentice, or you can't be trained like this way without having a master." They don't specifically say Sith, but I mean, come on, it's the Sith. We all know it's the Sith. Who else would train them this particular way? So when he makes that reference, when we get to Phantom Menace and he says that there haven't been Sith seen in a millennia, it kind of breaks their own story. And I think they tried to say that by not calling them Sith, and maybe they're going to do something to where they're not going to actually be recognized by Sith. I believe somebody even made a comment during the show that said that, maybe they're a splinter group, but a splinter group and the Sith, you wouldn't be saying we haven't seen the Sith in a millennia. It'd be like, hey, you know what? We've seen something of this sort. Or you would say, hey, it could be the Sith, or it couldn't be the Sith. Somebody out there still has evil intentions that can wield the Force. So I want to see how they fix this going forward, because I'm sure they have to fix it. If not, Star Wars made a big goof there. All right. So those are all the things I really had to say about this particular episode. I really wanted to get out this whole, reveal of the hidden master thing, at least in presence as well. We still don't know who's behind the mask. All signs points to Chimera. I'm hoping they do something better and just make it somebody from the Witches' Coven, because that would tie in better. I mean, they'd have to spend 2 or 3 episodes to tell me why Chimera wants to do this, and I don't really care about that much. All right, so tell me what you guys think about the episode in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have to think, and get some back and forth interaction as far as you guys. Are you liking this show? Or are you not liking this show? What would you like to see better? Can't wait for them to do the next Ahsoka series, really, at this point. And if this is the first time you're on the channel, make sure you subscribe, as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other videos that we do. All right, so with that being said, may the Force be with you. Always. Wait, guys, are you still here? I'm glad you're still here. All right, so if you look down, I mean, it's somewhere over here. Look down. We actually have a Patreon. So if you guys watch the show and you really like what we want to do, and you want to help support the show, and you want to help me get an editor so I can get to sleep at night because I'm really tired, and you guys see all my mistakes in the episodes, so please go to patreon.com/thegoods. Give us a penny, give us a nickel, give us $1.
Just don't give us the finger.
Don't do that. But make sure you do donate something, because we do have some giveaways. There's posters, there's t-shirts.
I'll sign something for you.
Exactly. So take a look, guys, and help us out. We appreciate it.